assistant professor in the Department of Biology at the University of Utah, and an associate researcher scholar in the Princeton Environmental Institute at Princeton, Dr. William R. L. Anderegg has referred us to the studies of the forests of Montana, where the evergreens are being overtaken by the beetles that were supposed to be controlled from cold winters. Even though San Diego has never experienced these cold winters, the Torrey Pines Forest Reserve does not have their own beetle issue, but in this case, it is due to the California's increasingly intense drought. Though California has always experienced some variation of drought for decades, the growth of climate change has meant hotter temperatures and longer drought recoveries, meaning forests like Torrey pines are subject to unforeseen issues like increased exposure to bark beetles. The five-spined engraver beetle is a native insect that survives by burrowing in the Torrey pine tree. During normal conditions, the pines will excrete sap to prevent beetles from laying eggs within the tree. The sap simultaneously protects the damaged bark from fungus and disease. However, in times of stress, such as drought, the trees do not have enough water to produce sap. Without a proper defense, the trees are quickly overwhelmed and die, allowing for an even larger nesting area for the beetle larvae to thrive. In 1989 to the early 1990s, numbers of bark beetles rose tremendously, killing about 850 Torrey pine trees. Traps were introduced to bring their populations to normal levels. The stacked black funnels that are seen on a dead Torrey pine contain a specialized chemical, pheromone, to attract and trap beetles. Today, the captured insects are collected and used to gain an understanding of beetle populations within the reserve. It is essential we learn how to manage this bark beetle population, for forests like Torrey pines have been absorbing more than a quarter of the carbon dioxide that people are putting into the air by burning fossil fuels and other activities. It is an amount so large that trees are effectively absorbing the emissions from all the world's cars and trucks. We propose that Mayor Faulkner and the San Diego environmental community invest more resources into the solar expansion in lower-income communities. Doing so would greatly establish a base for sustainable economic and environmental growth.
The Torrey pine is the rarest pine in the United States and one of the rarest pines in the world. There are estimated to be around 9,000 trees in the wild. That may sound like a fairly large number, but if the trees were planted tree farm style at 25 feet apart, all 9,000 would fit on a farm of around just 130 acres. This is why the Torrey Pines State Reserve is so important. It's one of the rarest trees in the U.S., and if we can't take care of it here, who's to say we'll be able to take care of it across the U.S.?